Fantastic start from Severukian, triple two for Ward Racing. Goes by Turney, who slots back on the inside. Bertuca takes the Englishman. Christian up into P3. Superstar from pole position for Ki Nakamura Berta. He's gone. Bertuca with one almighty send. Down the inside, Severukian's off the road. Thomas Stolchamanis tries to go B3. He'll be back to 5 at the exit of turn 6. Gustav Wisniewski on the charge, and watch out for Rashid Al-Bahedi to come charging up through the field. It's a ragged start. This 20-lap final. Look at the lead already from Ki Nakamura Berta. Back to Joseph Turney. Bertuca in third place in the Birral Art. Ki Nakamura Berta will lead them across the line for the first time. Round 3 of the WSK Supermaster Series. The OK final. Turney in second. There's Bertuca, who throws it in sideways. Wisniewski's up into P4 from DePaolo, Rashid, and Luigi Coluccio from grid 11. The Italian, the local hope, already in position 7 by Stolchamanis. Slater. There is Gustav Wisniewski going through in the TM-powered X3 for Forza Racing. Joseph, ragged on the edge, is the Englishman. There's the Italian Bertuca. And Wisniewski, who's fighting for grip in the early stages of the final. The KR's breathing down his neck. 2-1-2. Matteo DePaolo 2-0-5. The boy from Abu Dhabi in the United Arab Emirates. Last year's junior WSK Supermaster Series champion, Rashid Al-Bahedi. Joseph is catching. Joseph has caught the British-born drivers 1 and 2. Ki Nakamura Berta, officially from the land of the rising sun, is struggling for grip. Turney on the charge, rides the ripple strip as he tries to close in on the back of the leading 206 Kart Republic. Here's Joseph Turney. As we said, just spectacular to watch. Watch him ride the ripple strip, ride it. He went straight over the top of it. Bertuca, who defended superbly in the pre-final this morning, he's losing time. Luigi Coluccio is scorching around the circuit. He's gone faster than anybody, passing 5 karts in the opening stages of the OK final. Now Nakamura Berta finds some momentum, finds some rhythm, finds some pace as JT tries to go with. They start lap 4 of the OK final here at La Conca. The blind goes down on the radiator. There's Joseph down the start-finish straight. Bertuca, Wisniewski, Rashid, Slater's up to 6 from Coluccio. Alex Powell is trying to make his way up through the pack. He started back in grid 22. He's stuck in traffic and he's just been issued a warning flag as well. He won the junior final here last year. He won't win it this afternoon from there. There's the Jamaican coming into view now, just ahead of Hayu Yamakwashi, Jakub Ravsky, Josh Irfan, and Akshay Bora. Ki Nakamura Berta starting to pull away ever so slightly from Joseph Turney, who is driving the wheels off the 203 Tony kart. Flips the ripple strip, looks behind, does Joseph. The gap is 0.6 of a second, but more crucially, he's lost 1/10 of a second there to Ki Nakamura Berta. The Japanese driver, position 1, up onto 2 wheels. So the inside rear, there was fresh air between the Lagon tyre and the very slick asphalt here at La Conca. The Kart Republic starting to work. Joseph rides straight over the ripple strip. Gains 1/10 of a second that time through the middle part of the circuit. It's 0.668. There is Bertuca, who has been caught by Gustav Wisniewski. Down through the chicane, airborne goes both Ki Nakamura Berta and Joseph Turney into the hairpin, trying to catch, trying to rattle the Kart Republic, who runs a little bit wide coming onto the straight. Now lifts up the blind on the radiator, so he's losing temperature in these cold conditions here in the south of Italy. Bertuca spectacular. Old school 100cc style down into turn 1. Bertuca, as Gustav Wisniewski goes so deep under brakes, rides the ripple strip. The X3 powered by the GFR Tune TM engine, catching the back of Christian Bertuca. There is Turney, the fastest driver on the circuit. He's the Filipino in the Sauber Kart Republic. Zachary David, who's done a 50.299, 0.2 of a second faster than the race leader, Ki Nakamura Berta. The gap is half a second between KNB and JT. We'll check it as they cross the line, 1/4 distance. Head down behind the steering wheel. It stays 0.5 of a second. Fastest lap for King Nakamura Berta at 116 k's an hour. Can you believe they're 6 seconds? 6 seconds a lap slower than their qualifying pace. The track is dry, but it is extremely slick with very little rubber on what is a very cold circuit here this afternoon. Nakamura Berta sideways at the exit of turn 6, likewise for turning, and Bertucca defends superbly the final step of the podium for the Birolat driver from Milan in the north of Italy. Down through the chicane, this is where King Nakamura Berta pulls away ever so slightly. Turney turns in slightly earlier as King Nakamura Berta uses every bit of the concrete verging, and now the blind goes down again on the radiator. He is staring at the digital telemetry on the steering wheel, watching the engine temperature, needs every last degree of heat, not only from the engine but also the tyres as well. As we watch again, Wisniewski, he's so good under brakes into turn 3. At the moment, he's a step off the podium. And he's got Freddie Slater breathing down his neck. Freddie will not wait to make a move on Gustav Wisniewski. That's Pedersen, Coluccio, 201, Rashid, Matteo De Paolo and the championship leader, Tuukka Tappinen in position 10, Matteo De Paolo. Side by side with Rashid Al-Bahedi, respect between the two Kart Republic drivers. Here in the south of Italy, we watch, we wait for the gap. It was 0.737. Like a jet is Nakamura Berta. He's pulled out another 10th from Joseph Turney. The inside rear, it's starting to grip up. The Kart Republic, ominously, is starting to work nicely. Joseph Turney in the Tony Kart Racer RR 401 chassis. Everything as tight as possible. Can you believe last time out at Lonato, almost every driver in OK had unbolted, or it's certainly loosened off the third bearing. No chance of that here this afternoon. Everything, seat stays, third bearings, every torsion bar as tight as possible. Tyre temperature is absolutely critical, as is the highly guarded pressures. As we check the gap, it was 0.81 last time. It's down to 0.7. Joseph now with a 49.552. He's catching, he goes purple. As Slater sends it down the inside, does Freddie. The Englishman for Ricky Flynn Motorsport goes by Bertucca. He's up onto the podium. Superb pass by fast Freddie Slater. Position 3, 227, the Lando Norris kart. So the English-born drivers, 1, 2, 3. But it is the Japanese flag on the helmet. The Arai helmet, of course, for King Nakamura Berta. What else for a Japanese driver? Down through the chicane into the hairpin. We'll check the gap. Joseph Turney has done a purple sector. He is catching ever so slightly. The gap, 0.763 of a second. We watch down the straight. Joseph has a long, hard look behind. It's a fair distance back to Slater. It stays the same, but again, Joseph goes purple. It's a nail-biting final as we approach and pass half-race distance, round 3 of the 2022 WSK Supermaster Series as Wisniewski sends it down the inside. He's been brilliant into turn 3, going so late under brakes. Wisniewski goes by Bertucca, and Oscar Pedersen, the 2021 Swedish champion for World Racing, follows him through. Pedersen takes Wisniewski as well. 2 in 3 corners for Oscar. Bertucca gets one back. Wisniewski, his race is falling apart as KNB and JT pull away. 0.713 of a second last time round. It's down to half a second. Joseph goes purple and takes 0.2 of a second out of King Nakamura Berta. A 49.235 versus a 49.441 for King Nakamura Berta. Sideways on the exit of turn 6 for the both of them. Spectacular from both King Nakamura Berta and Joseph Turney. These world-class drivers in this world-class field. The championship, which dates back to 2010, they smashed the ripple strip. It is WRC style here at Leconca. It was WRX style in the mud and the rain yesterday. Joseph is catching visibly. It was 0.7 of a second. It was 0.5 of a second. He comes across the line. But now Kim Nakamura Berta responds. A 49.1 for the both of them. There's Slater, Pedersen, Wisniewski, De Paulo, Rashid goes by Bertuka. And it's Severukian, Popov, Stolchamanis, Pashevic, Zachary David, Matthias Ferreira fighting there with Vladimir Verholantsev. Matthias Ferreira, fastest qualifier in rounds 1 and 2 behind Zachary David in the Sauber Kart Republic. Matthias Ferreira back in position 14. Tuukka Tappinen is still the championship leader despite being down in 17th place. As we head into the series final, the decider in 7 days' time at Sano. A slight error, goes wide coming onto the straight as Kim Nakamura Berta. And the gap is down to 0.3 of a second. Joseph's coming. Joseph will not need to be asked twice. JT from MK in the UK. Joseph Turney from Milton Keynes in the United Kingdom for the Tony Kart Racing team is driving the wheels off the green machine. Rides the ripple strip. He's catching Nakamura Berta. Into the far part of the circuit, it was 0.7 of a second. Kart Republic versus Tony Kart. This battle rages on in round 3 of the WSK Supermaster Series. They ride the ripple strip. Watch Turney, he's a mile back. He may well send it. He thought about it. He's now on the back bumper of the 206 Kart Republic. He'll get the slipstream. I don't need to tell you the gap. He's right there. Down the start-finish straight at 117 k's an hour. Uses every piece of the racetrack and then some, does the Tony Kart driver. Kim Nakamura Berta fighting to hold on to the lead of round 3 of the Supermaster Series. Pulls away ever so slightly at the exit of turns 4 and 5. A wider line from Nakamura Berta, a tighter line from Turney in the Tony Kart. Watch him into this corner. Clips the ripple strip and loses momentum. Again, Kim Nakamura Berta, he's obviously watching the gauges. They go down through the chicane. A nail-biting race here at Leconca. Watch into the hairpin. JT sends it. Turney in the Tony Kart takes the lead. It's all going wrong for Nakamura Berta. He's lost the lead. He's lost 3 kart lengths. Joseph Turney, 3/4 race distance, leads the final of round 3 of the WSK Supermaster Series. Now the fight is on. 4.5 laps now remaining. Joseph Turney, the most spectacular driver to watch in world karting. But Kim Nakamura Berta, the reigning junior world champion, is behind him. He took pole position for the final. He took pole position in the drive for qualifying. He's losing time. That was David Walter parked in the background. The Koski Motorsport driver has retired. The not-so-great Dane here this afternoon. He's out, unfortunately, along with the local hope, Luigi Coluccio. 4 laps now remaining. A fastest lap now for Kim Nakamura Berta. It is so much harder to lead than it is to chase. And now Nakamura Berta has got a target. Into turn 6. Nice line that time from Turney. A little ragged on the exit. Kim Nakamura Berta is seeing his chances of victory slip away here this afternoon. The track rubbering in. They're down into the 48, so there's still 4 seconds. Not 4 tenths. 4 seconds off their qualifying pace. Into the hairpin. We'll watch the gap. It was 0.3 of a second. Remember, Nakamura Berta was leading by 7 tenths. Joseph looks over his shoulder. Back to Kim Nakamura Berta. We wait for Freddie in the background as the leaders go through turn 1. Slater holds off. Oscar Pedersen, 2021 Swedish champion, is a step off the podium. There's De Paulo, there's Rashid. Maximilian Popov, Artem Severukin, Bertuka Ferreira, Stolchamanis, Zach David, Jan Pulhui. The newly announced Mercedes driver is in position 13 ahead of Tuukka Tappinen, who as it stands will still lead despite a forgettable final here this afternoon. going into the last round of the 2022 championship, the virtual championship as it stands. 167 points to Tappanen. Coluccio, 137 points, but gets 0 out of this afternoon, the round 1 winner. He has already retired, and if Joseph can hold on for another 2 laps, he'll be third going into Sano in 7 days' time, a point behind on 136. Slater, Pedersen, the fight for the final step of the podium. The bottom left of your screen has the graphic confirmation that Joseph Turney was the fastest driver on the track. It's just been eclipsed by Maximilian Popov, a 48.352 versus a 3.58 for Turney. But critically, Joseph is faster than King Nakamura Berta. A superb performance from King. Fastest qualifier with a time of 44.277 48 hours ago, but he's losing time. Joseph Turney is about to get the last lap board. Looks over his shoulder. King Nakamura Berta driving as hard as he possibly can. Chokes the engine now. There's Freddie Slater, looks over his shoulder, trying to hold on to position 3. Joseph Turney, as we told you in our introduction yesterday in the rain, in the heats, he started grid 9. He won 2 heats. In fact, twice from grid 9, within 3 corners, he was in 2nd place. He's half a lap away from victory. A brilliant performance from King Nakamura Berta, but he will come up 1 short. Down the back straight for the final time, over the chicane, not through it, and into the hairpin. It is JT from MK in the UK, Joseph Turney from Milton Keynes in the United Kingdom, the driver from the Queen's England for the Tony Kart Racing Team, wins round 3 of the WSK Super Masters Series. A fantastic driver, fantastic victory, and the British